Welcome, this is Shakti your host and online astrologer. Online because I live on Maui in Hawaii on this tiny little island, which means that I do most of my work online, and when I do readings I do them mostly through Skype. I have been an astrologer for 35 years now, which is quite a long time, and I'm actually getting even more excited after all these years because my own knowledge and wisdom is deepening, and I can see how much even more is possible to do with astrology. If you are not living your life at the level of fulfillment, joy, or love you might desire, there is a key that you can learn about yourself and the underlying creating forces of the universe and steps you can take. Because in my experience, the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. So who we are in our inner world has to do with our state of consciousness, our self-awareness, and the inner knowledge, what's driving our personality and those driving forces in our life. So the key is always consciousness and self-knowledge. And I don't know anything which comes even close to astrology in providing you with that key and giving you that overview, that wisdom perspective from your soul in a very short time. The most significant use of astrology I can think about is looking at your personal birth chart. In counseling astrology, we evaluate the time quality of a moment in time, the starting moment of something, which can be anything, a contract signed, a marriage started, or a baby born. Then we have mundane astrology. Mundane astrology, we look at possible events. We look at astrological general climate at any given time. So this is where we have the astrological forecasts, and mundane astrology is the astrology of worldly events. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. We're gonna look into the forecast for the coming months, starting with the full moon in Pisces. So head over with me to my PowerPoint presentation, which will give you the specifics about the Piscean energies and how you can use those to your advantage. So hang in there till the end to make sure you get to the practical suggestions. Welcome to my PowerPoint presentation. This is Shakti again, and I am an evolutionary astrologer. That means that I'm always interested to look through the astrological lens from the perspective of your soul. What helps your soul to flourish? What helps you to grow? I'm also a published author with Llewellyn, and my book is an introduction to astrology and how you can use gems and jewelry to balance inner aspects of friction in your chart. So for some of you that might be of interest. Moon astrology teachings in general. So in general, if you like to balance and navigate successfully those deep inner waters of your inner world, of your emotions, then you want to learn about moon astrology. And I'm usually doing one video for the full moon of the month and one video for the new moon of the month, which has very different implications. So yeah, check it out. Today I want to talk about the coming full moon in Pisces. That will be September 19th at 4:13 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at pretty much at the end, 26 degrees of Pisces. So let's see what that means. We will discuss full moon in Pisces, and for that we need to look into the Piscean personality and what that means for us this month, how we benefit and how we can use these energies, and how we set our intentions as a result of that. When we talk about the transiting moon throughout the months, then it's also good to be aware of the location of your moon in your birth chart, because that describes your emotional filter to the world. So whatever is going on for you will be filtered through your moon. So let's have a brief look here. Your moon is representing your heart, your soul, your need to be safe. It's your connection to your unconsciousness. And because of that, the moon is also your creative fountain. So we could call the moon in your chart the position of your inner healer, of your shepherd. It's carrying the quality of the great mother. So wherever your moon is, this is where you want and need to bring in that quality into your life. But it's also representing the inner child. So the moon is really about nourishing and being nourished. So because of that, it's a source of joy and happiness. So we have to live our moon in order to be happy. And with the transiting moon throughout the months, waxing and waning through its phases, so more we are in tune with that connection to who we are and what's activated in our natal chart, we get a real good experiential experience of planetary influences. The Piscean personality we could describe as the mystic, the dreamer, the poet, the lover, the seer and visionary. So these are all qualities we attribute to Pisces. Also, Pisces is the last sign out of 12 in the cycle of the zodiac. So it kind of integrates all these former steps of learning, and it is ruled by the Lord Neptune. Pisces is the one in the zodiac who is most in touch with the non-physical dimensions of life. There is a kind of thin veil between the physical world we take for so real we're living in, and the underlying forces, the other dimensions, which are as real as the physical. I mean, science is telling us, I think by now they agree we have 11 dimensions. So Pisces, when you have like the sun or ascendant or several planets in Pisces, you're a person who needs a lot of solitude. You need the time to be on your own. You thrive through meditation. It's very helpful for you then to have some kind of spiritual practice. Pisces values solitude. This is when the mind can get still. They value dream time. Piscean people often get information through their dreams, like clairvoyant dreaming. They're aware that they dream. They can change things in their dream. So it's a pretty cool thing. So Piscean people are usually very inspired because of their connection to the divine. So there is a high potential of imagination. So Pisces are often artists, musicians, people who kind of bring those inspirations into the world for us to partake in them. The shadow, each sign has a shadow, of course, and the Piscean shadow is to be addicted, to use all kinds of ways to escape. So there's a tendency to escapism, and often they use drugs and alcohol to do that. But underlying is this longing for this higher wisdom perspective. So one of the remedies for Pisces is, when you look into the world of gemstones, is amethyst. And amethyst is a stone which helps to balance that weakness for escapism and lower ways to escape the three-dimensional world. So amethyst is a wonderful stone to have as crystal. I used to have a really big chunk in my jewelry store in Germany, and it was a druzy, so people wouldn't believe that gemstones have anything to offer. I always told them to put their hand into the druzy, and it was so strong. It was almost like an ultrasonic, like picking on your skin. So it was always a good way. So for people to really have an experience that gemstones do indeed do something and influence our energy body with their specific frequencies. So gemstones are a very known remedy to balance weak parts in your chart. So how can you use these Piscean energies brought into focus with the full moon in Pisces? So the first question I have for you, do you create enough space, enough stillness in your life? And I know we're living in these really interesting times where we're all so super busy and so driven, and we're so forced to keep going and trying to keep up with all the requirements and the emails and all that stuff. So for us to really allow ourselves that moment of settling down of our mind, we really need to consciously create a space to have that. So the question is, do you have some kind of meditation practice? How do you do it? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit on your butt and do Zen style meditation, but it means you have to find a way for yourself to touch into that stillness. One way I really like, because I'm a very active person, and for me it's hard to just sit down and get still. So one way of meditation in a more active form is what we call the Kundalini meditation. It's an Osho meditation. You can find the music online, and it's a 1 hour meditation. You can cut shorter on your own with available audio programs. But the basic thing is it has 4 parts to the meditation. The first part is wild shaking. You shake from the center of your belly, and you shake your body wildly. The second part is you dance, so the music changes and you can still keep shaking, but it's kind of changing more into a dancing. Then the third part of the meditation is sitting. So you sit and there's really soft flute music and everything kind of settles down. And then the fourth part is laying down, there's stillness. And this is a very, very effective meditation, and it also gives you some exercise. So I really, really recommend for you to check this out. Activities this month are physical activities, swimming in the ocean. I mean, any kinds of ocean sports, just being in the water, flowing, immersing yourself in something what carries you and nourishes you. So if you have an ocean or a pool or something nearby, have fun. So the overall idea this month is connecting with the divine. It's about how can you attune yourself to spirit, to those other dimensions where all the wisdom and the inspiration is coming from. And then how can you use that? How can you grow into a new level of success and finding and creating a fulfilling and meaningful life? So only when you are in the zone, as Tony Robbins calls it, or stillness, as I call it, only there you can find answers and you can get that direction from your soul. So one way Or another way to find that inner connection and guidance from your higher self is morning pages. So journaling with morning pages, when you just come out of your dream world and that inner connection to other dimensions, when you sit down with your first cup of tea or coffee and you write and let it flow, you will be amazed how much creativity and how many ideas and inspirations will come from that. Find out what is your way for connecting to your higher wisdom, your own higher self, to the divine. And be open to gain that vision, that high wisdom perspective. And that is always the first step to any success in life. So invest your time into yourself. Make space in your life to gain your vision. Find your mountaintop. Sit on it. Take your walk in the woods. Be in the ocean. Do the Kundalini meditation. Whatever it takes. If you like my presentation, make sure you subscribe. You can also sign up for my newsletters on my website, Maui Astrology Reading. There you would get a free report for your love storm based on your personal horoscope, your astrology. And if you're signed up with my newsletters, I will keep you informed about my beginner classes for astrology, which I'm planning to do, but haven't quite figured out when I will start with that. So like me, if you do. This is me again. So this is how you can reach me for astrological readings. You know, I do online readings through Skype, which is actually a lot of fun to do. So you can reach me in Hawaii, 808-878-8182, or head over to my website, mauiastrologyreading.com, and connect with me. So I'm looking forward, and thank you for joining and hanging out with me, and I hope to see you soon again. And aloha.